two-run home run in the 8th inning made it a 5-3 ball game. So let's just start with the steal moment with the attempted steal with Bryce Turang. So to set the stage here for the Brewers, 2-out rally forms after an infield hit from Andrew Monasterio and then a hit and run from Bryce Turang. You have men on the corners and 2 outs and a lefty on the mound in Luke Little. Contreras is at the plate, arguably your best hitter. Yelly after him. You're hoping in a tie game they're going to come through here with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Turang, he's the team's leader in stolen bases, even with the lefty on the mound, decided to try to break for second with Contreras at the plate. I was not opposed to him trying to steal there with 2 outs. I really wasn't. Because in that situation, you would figure the Cubs are going to play defense and say, all right, well, if he wants second base, give it to him. And maybe, you have the Cubs think about, do you walk Contreras to get a left-on-left with Yelich? That's something I'm sure they would have considered. We'll never know for certain. Furthermore, you get onto second base, that's 2 runs in scoring position for a base hit, and there's too much risk involved for the Cubs. If they're going to try to get Turang with a good jump, which he had, they probably would not throw to second base, given the risk of Monasterio trying to score from third. But with all that being said, the mistake, in my opinion, was made by Bryce Turang, stopping at second base. He played that into a rundown instead of trying to run all the way through the second base. If you get thrown out, you get thrown out. But you go back and watch the video of that play, Michael Busch was not going to throw to second. He was pump faking. And when he saw Turang stop, he realized, okay, I guess I can throw to second now. And then the rundown ensued. Monasterio tried to break for home. He got into a rundown, and that was the end of the inning. I really think if Turang just kept running, he's safe. You got runners on second and third for Contreras, and then you see what happens. I'm not saying Contreras would have definitely come through. He's been slumping as of late, but would have liked to have seen that happen. That was a mistake that the Brewers, in my opinion, made tonight. Another thing about tonight's game, the Brewers still held the Cubs to 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. The one being the 2-strike, 2-out RBI single by Pete Crow Armstrong to right field on pitch that wasn't even a strike. An elevated fastball that he got on top of and lined it in the right field to score Ian Happ. But the mistake wasn't that pitch. The mistake was a leadoff walk to Ian Happ to try to set up a shutdown inning from Tobias Myers. That was right after the Brewers had tied the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and then a leadoff walk on 8 pitches when he was ahead 0-2. Those always come back to haunt you, and it did there in the 4th inning. That gave the Cubs a 3-2 lead. The Brewers would respond in the bottom half of the inning, but then 3-3 would be the only run that they could get back and would be the last run they scored on the game. I was talking to a friend earlier today during this game, like, what's going on? I saw the clip of Justin Steele. I don't want to talk about that clip with Justin Steele with Craig Kashan in a moment, but in all honesty, with the bloops and the gifts that the Brewers were given there in the 3rd inning and that led to Justin Steele lighting up his dugout, there was a point in this game I thought the Cubs should have been up like 5-0. Especially given how the way this game started, right? 2 pitches in, it was 2-0, and then a 4-pitch walk and a balk. It escalated very quickly on Tobias Myers, but give him credit. He got Suzuki to pop out. He got a great barehanded play on some help from Monasterio. Then he got Morel to strike out. To keep it at 2-0 in that 1st inning, given it was the worst possible start, I thought was very impressive from Tobias Myers. And oh, by the way, he just turned in his 4th quality start, all of them this month, capping off a fantastic month of June. He had a sub 1.2 ERA this month. 4 of his 5 starts were quality starts. You never know where it's going to come from, but Tobias Myers did his job today. He really did, especially given how this game started with the 2-run home run from Michael Busch. He should go home very excited about how he pitched today, how well it went for him. And then Yoel Payamps in the 8th. Got some thoughts about Payamps and some numbers I want to share with him. Not super thrilled to share, but it's the truth, and we got to have a serious conversation about Yoel Payamps' role moving forward. Brian Hudson was great once again, and Oli Paredes kept the Brewers in it. They made it interesting in the bottom of the 9th. getting the winning run to the plate for back-to-back batters with Tyler Black and Bryce Terang, but in the end, Hector Neris got a couple of strikeouts on the lefties, his repertoire is built to face lefties with that splitter. He got Black looking on a fastball. He got Terang to chase a splitter. And that's all she wrote tonight. So this series is level, one game apiece. Rubber game tomorrow at 1:10. We'll talk about it in a moment with Craig Kishon, but first I want to remind you that Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you all season long by Fifth Third Bank. With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities to help your business succeed. It's commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620. That's the phone number. Stay with us. Brewers Extra Innings after this.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
It's Brewers Cubs. It's the I-94 rivalry. It's your chance to defend American Family Field. Be here June 28th through the 30th for 3 huge Brewers games. Find your spot for the action at brewers.com/tickets.
Even when you get a great price, diamonds cost a lot of money.
But we want you to be able to buy the engagement ring you really want.
You won't have to settle for anything less than fantastic when you come to Kessler's.
We do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
Friendly financing makes it possible.
We can give you 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit.
And with approved credit, we can give you 36 months to pay with just 9.99%.
And if getting your credit approved is a problem, we've even got second chance financing for people who deserve a second chance.
Don't settle for second best. Come to Kessler's.
Seriously, we do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
That's the sort of thing you can expect from us when you hear us say, "Welcome to Kessler's."
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com. And one more thing, welcome to Kesslers.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 is phone number. This one from Doug. Hope this game doesn't wake up the Cubs. They showed some emotion, but a win tomorrow should stop that. Can't see anybody catching the Brewers. Hey, still got plenty of time left in the season. The Cubs went on a run in July, August last year. Then we all know how September ended for them. Craig Kishon is with us now. Craig, I just said a moment ago that I don't think either team played their sharpest game. But nonetheless, the Brewers competed, and they were in the hunt in this one. But the offense certainly did not have their best day. And I look at a couple of little blunders that caught them, but Justin Steele did what Justin Steele does. He's got the Brewers' numbers the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, he really does, Dom. And I agree with you. This was not the cleanest game in the world. There were moments where it was a fun game to watch. Like that Brewer third inning, they were doing everything to put pressure on Steele and obviously the Cubs defense. And sometimes that's just fun baseball to watch, especially when you're successful at it. But to get 3 runs and still have only 1 out there and have, Yelich and Adames come up and they both struck out to end the inning, that means Steele went and took care of business on his own, which you got to give him a lot of credit for. And, yeah, he did blow up at the Cubs. I think if you're a Brewer fan, you're like, yeah, give it to him. You should be mad. You made 12 starts and you don't have a win. That's on them. But no matter how you look at it, it just wasn't it just certainly wasn't the cleanest game in the world. But also one, the Cubs hit 2 2-run home runs, 1 early and 1 late. And that apparently is all it took to win this one here. So the Brewers are going to have to figure out a way to string some offense together. They have some guys who, they've had some really timely home runs, obviously, on this homestand so far. to make them 4-1. But there have been some guys who haven't done a whole lot yet. It would be nice to finish up Sunday strong.
Well, let's talk a little about that third inning when Justin Steele yelled at his dugout, because a leadoff single from Sal Frelick. Then Blake Perkins pops out on a bunt attempt. Sal steals second, the next batter with Monasterio. In fact, Steele got ahead of him 0-2. Then on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, he hits a bouncing ball towards short that Sal went for third on and then got himself into a rundown and escaped the rundown. It got runners on second and third with one out. Then Terang drops down a squeeze that Steele himself bobbled, but it would have been a base hit anyway, which it was originally ruled an error, then flipped to a base hit. Gets ahead of Contreras 0-2 with the infield in, and then he hits a bloop to shallow center that, quite frankly, Craig, that ball should have been caught. I'm shocked that Crow Armstrong could not get there. That was not Swanson's ball. That was not Horner's ball. That is a ball that, with the infield in, the center fielder has to know he has to take charge. He did not. And then he gets ahead of the next two batters 0-2 and strikes them out each on 3 pitches. That's what Steele was mad about, because he was getting ahead. He was doing his end of the bargain. He was getting weak contact. And there's a line, right, where it's like, don't show up your teammates. And, at the same time, it's like, he's got a 0 in the win column. Like you said, he is frustrated. We are past the halfway point. This dude was top 5 in Cy Young voting last year. The team, the Cubs, with all due respect, have had no life. 0, none whatsoever for the last 2 weeks. And in the Cubs' eyes, I think that's a big moment for them. One of their leaders, their ace, if you will, setting the tone. This isn't good enough. Play better behind me because I want to carry you to the promised land. And quite frankly, he stuck up for him. Granted, a run allowed in the 4th. He retired the last 7 batters he faced.
Yeah, I mean, he does everything and did everything that you're supposed to do if you're going to be a leader and you're going to be, your ace and frontline pitcher on that staff. But it does get frustrating. You can imagine. I mean, we've seen certain pitchers who have absolutely no luck at all when it comes down to the bottom line, and that's winning a ball game. We talk about it all the time on the Brewers side. Let's take Colin Ray, for instance. He's made 14 starts, and the Brewers are 10-4 in his starts. That's not his record, just the fact that the team has won when he has started. And they haven't bailed him out necessarily on some of the no decisions or whatever. He's just been that effective for him. And Steele has been very effective for him, especially this month of June. So, I mean, he's done his part building over the course of, 4, 5, 6 starts here. And this team has really shown him nothing, in return. So I get the blow up, but I think on the other side too, if you're the Cubs, you could also say, what's he blown up at us for? We're all struggling and having issues and whatnot. Maybe it doesn't, spark them in the right direction. Yeah, they won today's game, but I also think it had a lot to do with the Brewers just, not cashing in on some big opportunities here today.
I agree. And I have personally no problem with it in moderation, like most things when it comes to passion plays like that. Yeah. Now, if we see Justin Steele doing that weekly, then you got a red flag there. But that's the first time I've ever seen him do something like that. Let's flip it over to Tobias Myers because, man, this could have gone in a completely different direction for him today. If I would have told you, after that balk with a 2-0 Cubs lead and a man on second and nobody out in the first inning, Tobias Myers is going to have a quality start today. This is not gambling advice, but you could have taken that to Potawatomi and got yourself a pretty good check because, holy cow, he turned it around quickly.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, my gosh, we're first pitch to Horner, base hit, and second pitch of the game, first pitch to Bush, home run. And you're like, whoa. Then he walks Bellinger, and you're thinking, what's going on here? And during Bellinger's walk, the balk came. So it's like, okay, what's really going on here early? And can this kid handle this? Because we haven't quite seen that before. I know early he gave up, when he was first called up, he was very susceptible to giving up those early home runs. But to be able to bounce back after that and then get the next 3 hitters basically and finish off Morel with a strikeout to end that first, and you're walking out of there with just those 2 hits and just those 2 runs, you're feeling pretty good about yourself for sure. He just seemed a little bit off, Dom. the two balks, one of them, he looked like he slipped off the rubber. And then, he did have two walks and a hit batter in this one as well. So he has not been battling a lot of traffic on the bases in the month of June. Today, though, very much different. But I think his test is what you said. He had to pass it. And I think along the way, he did a tremendous job to get through 6 innings.
Yeah, he left 6 runners on base in his 6 innings of work today, including a clutch moment with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And I thought one of the bigger moments in the game, and when I swayed to thinking, oh my gosh, the Brewers are going to win this game, was in the top of the 6th inning. 7, 8, 9 do, the third time through the order. The Brewers bullpen is getting ready to go because he's not going to face a 4th time through. Game tied 3-3. And he gets out of the inning on 5 pitches with both Dansby Swanson, a veteran, swinging at the first pitch, a rookie, Pete Crow Armstrong, swinging at the first pitch. He fouled it off and eventually struck out. And then Tomas Nido, a veteran, swinging at the first pitch. They did not waver from their game plan today. 16 out of 27 batters swung at the first pitch today from Tobias Myers, but they never made him sweat in that 6th inning. They never forced, action, patience, trying to draw a walk, trying to stretch things out, make him think about it for that top of the order to come up and get into the bullpen a little bit sooner. Now, I know the Cubs won the game, but, man, Tobias there in that 6th inning really impressed me of how he locked things in.
Yeah, I mean, look, he understood that their game plan, they had one thing on their sheet, and they did it. And so you got to give him credit for understanding that and understanding, I'm sure, some of the help he was getting, from Chris Hook and everybody that was talking to him, William Contreras in between everything. So great job by him. It was a little bit curious that, Craig Counsell's Cubs, stuck with that, like I said, that one-item game plan. It was a little bit curious, to be sure, especially against this rookie pitcher whom, they got too early. So who knows what they could have done here. But, bottom line is he did a really nice job.
It's really good stuff from him. Before we get to break, want to get to the phone lines, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. John and Sheboygan, you're live on Brewers Extra Innings. Hey, John, you with us? All right. We'll go ahead and drop John and go to a break here. If you want to call back, give us a ring. 855-616-1620. Take a break. Talk more with Craig after this on WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Drive into summer with a beautiful new car from the International Autos Group. Get spectacular savings of up to $20,000, and 0.9% financing is available for 60 months. Every model in our 2,000 car inventory is priced to sell. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Sheboygan, and Brown Deer. Or at IAAutogroup.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Financing with approved credit, $1,709 per month per $1,000 financed on select models.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano inviting you to spend New Year's at sea and offering you an amazing deal if you book the Vinny Cruise now. Join my family and me on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, a Western Caribbean cruise leaving December 29th. Right now you can save up to $875 per person if you book through my partners, Expedia Cruises Brookfield. It's the only place you can get this deal right now. We'll stop in Mexico, Honduras, Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas, and let's spend some time together. A welcome cocktail party for our group, dinner, a full group excursion on Roatan Island, a day of sloths, monkeys, zip lining, snorkeling, and a delicious local island-style lunch included. Our group from Wisconsin rings in the new year then together at sea. Enjoy Christmas here at home, and then let's set sail for the trip of a lifetime. Couples, bring the kids, or grandma and grandpa. How about bringing the entire family? Email me for more information from Expedia Cruises Brookfield. Vince at WTMJ.com. That's Vince at WTMJ.com.
You're listening to Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
Brewers lose to the Cubs 5-3 tonight. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Got Craig Kishon with us as well. Some bright spots from today's box score for the Crew. Couple of hits for Bryce Terang, including a bunt and a clean single the opposite way off of a lefty. William Contreras had an RBI single and an infield single. Would like to see him drive the ball again, though. Another positive from this one is the bottom half of the order, creating some chaos. Churio, a double and a run scored. Sal Frelick had a single, a run scored, and a run batted in, and a stolen base for him. I see some things that, again, the Brewers weren't super sharp today, but no reason to hit the panic button with their offense. And the big news today, though, was the fact that Joey Ortiz had to be scratched from the lineup today. He did come into pinch run late in the game. I don't know if that's an indicator if he's going to be available tomorrow, but Craig, this offense is good. Monasterio has been a good role player, and was very important to the team last season. But I don't know where your concern level is for Joey Ortiz, or if there should be serious consideration to retroactively put him on the injured list. But it's something that is starting to catch my eye and think, might be worth it if it's going to be a late scratch here today.
Yeah, you get into that third day now, and, if it is a late scratch, that kind of gives you the indication that he probably felt pretty well when he came in. Obviously good enough to give it a go and to try to be in the lineup. But, the preparation, these guys go through a lot physically to get ready for these games. And, it involves just about everything from, running and making sure you can field your position to – doing whatever hitting, whether it's indoor at the cage or out on the field. And to be, he was about 90 minutes out from game time scratch. So, they made the move and got him out of there. But hopefully it was a good sign to see him come in and pinch run late. Because I will say this, you kind of went up and down the lineup here a little bit. Willy Adames right now, he's 0 for 18 on the homestand, which is, kind of stunning in a way that this team has really played well and kind of picked him up at the plate. But they need his bat to get back on track literally by tomorrow, in my opinion. And not only have you missed Joey Ortiz, I mean, we know what his glove does, Dom, but he's done such a tremendous job of either starting in that lineup to pass the baton or pick that baton up and do his part with it. So I think, they've missed that the last 3 or 4 days. And Gary Sanchez, too, as far as pinch hitters go, God bless the young guys coming up like Tyler Black in this situation. He had a good at-bat and stuff, but Gary Sanchez has been there, done that. And, with him on the injured list right now, too, for the first time as a Brewer, they're kind of having to readjust a little bit on the fly here.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Willie, and really the whole top third of the lineup, the 2-3-4 spot, Contreras, Yelich, Adames. This homestand, they were a combined 11 for 55. That's a 200 batting average, just 2 extra base hits, a couple of doubles from William Contreras. No extra base hits from Yelly. Yelly was swinging 3-0 yesterday. He's swinging first pitch. I mean, he's in a slump right now. He is pressing. The Brewers have no homers from those 3 guys this homestand. They're drawing walks. 8 walks versus 9 strikeouts, but look, a 538 OPS from the 2-3-4 in the order, quite frankly, that the Brewers swept the Rangers and have a chance to win the series against the Cubs. You said it. Those are the guys that you lock in on and saying, hey, going to win a series, going to need something from those 3.
Yeah, you can't collectively, and they shouldn't. I mean, they know how important they are in their positions in the lineup. You just collectively can't go a full week and expect to get really, really positive results. And to start out by winning the first 4 games of the homestand, pretty remarkable. And of course, they also won that final game on the road trip as well. So, they're carrying some juice here right now, and everyone once in a while has to pick up the next guy. But hopefully, collectively, these next 3 guys will, get in there tomorrow and, hammer Hendricks and get the Brewers a win and head out west and keep her going. That's for sure.
Amen. Real quick, some bullpen thoughts here, too. I mean, we can't go through this show with you and not talk about the good and the bad. Brian Hudson was awesome, once again. Facing the top of the order, 1, 2, 3, a pair of strikeouts, and gets Horner and Bellinger on that big slider. I see... Look, all-star is tough when you're a non-closer and when you don't pitch the 8th inning and maybe you don't have the flashiest tools in the world. But, man, he has pitched like it. The Brewers know it. The league knows it, quite frankly, too. And Brian Hudson, I know he only went 1 inning today, and some fans have misguided thoughts that he should have gone back out for a 2nd inning. You can't have it both ways where you want to make sure he lasts the whole season and you want to win the game. You got to have trust in Payamps, and look, Pyamps, we'll get to him in a second, but, man, Brian Hudson did his job once again to get the top of the order retired in that 7th inning.
Well, and it was so necessary. I mean, the game is still all the way on the line. It's still tied 3-3. And you do, I think, understand the scenario, especially like, what's Chris Hook and Pat Murphy going through, and it's like, well, this guy can give us 2. We're going to keep track of how the 7th inning goes. But by the same token, you just lost Jared Koenig today, and he's on the injured list, so you're not going to see him for more than 2 weeks right now, which is a huge hit. But one guy can't come in and fill those exact same role that Koenig was able to do even through yesterday, pitching in the span over 2 innings. So, Hudson's doing a great job. We all know it, but they very much, they're in a situation where they're going to need to potentially spread these guys out a little bit, and at least they're in a position, if they need him tomorrow, and they probably will, that he'll be available to go.
On Pyamps was not sharp tonight. A walk, a homer, a walk, a walk. He had 0-2, 1-2, 1-2 on the walks. I see a guy that, really, it's been since the second half of last season. I have the numbers to back this up. In his first 46 games as a Brewer, he had a 1.68 ERA, an opponent average of 197. Okay, now this includes last season into this season. In his last 57 games, so 11 more games, he has a 4.35 ERA, so more than double, and opponent batting average is 250, so almost 60 points higher than it was in the previous 46 games. The homers are homers. He had 5 versus 7. I'm not so concerned about the homers. I'm concerned about the walks. And I'm concerned about making it more stressful on himself. I don't think the 8th inning is going to be his for much longer, quite frankly, especially when Devin Williams comes back. But he might need a soft landing to get recalibrated and back on track because the Brewers certainly know what he is capable of.
And it's interesting, too, with him, Dom. He seems, like somebody, going back to the second half of last year. I think it's a good point you bring up. But especially what we've seen, currently, he's kind of pitching in waves almost. He's had, a stretch of a few good outings, and then he'll struggle a little bit, and then he'll get hit hard like he did in this one. And when you walk 3 guys, that kind of becomes your own fault here. So you just can't do that. That's obvious. But just the waves. So, if he's in one of those downer waves here right now, he's got to come out of it pretty quickly here because this team need him. I don't know if that's going to be in the 8th inning, but they're going to need him. And they're at a point here right now where we've talked about how much this franchise has leaned on their relievers. You're going to hit a point in the season where you just simply can't do it anymore because you suffer an injury. Koenig is a huge blow to this franchise here right now that he's not going to be available. Hopefully it's a short window, but we're not going to know until the beginning of next week exactly what his situation is. So you just need guys to pick each other up right now until you can get a guy like Devin Williams back. It just seems like after hearing him on the broadcast today, he's not going to be that far away. So guys, you're going to have to pick it up and hopefully, wait till you get reinforcements back that you can really rely on.
Yeah, I agree entirely. When it comes to this bullpen, they will get better when Devin returns, and you can think ahead and put Devin in the 9th, McGill in the 8th, Hudson in the 7th, Pyamps situational righty, Peguero situational righty, Koenig and Milner situational lefties, Junis as a length man, and that's a really darn good bullpen when that's all said and done. But really good stuff.
Other thing, Dom, I was just going to say, just talking about that real quick, DL Hall's probably going to be back at some point, and they're not sure if they want to, completely stretch him out and use him as a starter, or will he be more effective, in the final, 2.5 months of the season coming out of the bullpen as well. I mean, maybe the outcome of the Koenig injury will kind of dictate how they're going to use him too. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree entirely. We'll talk again tomorrow, hopefully another exciting rubber game here and what will be a sellout crowd here at the ballpark. And let's see that L flag tomorrow, all right? Let's have some fun.
Let's fly it, man.
All right, Craig Kashan here on WTMJ. Appreciate you as always, my friend, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, back with more after a Brewers loss, 5-3. A couple of texts here, 855-616-1620. Right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Yard work, playing with the kids, getting back out on the boat. Things that should be enjoyable, not painful. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, where I've been seeing Dr. Alex Young and his team for nearly a year. My neck, back, and shoulder feeling so much better. It's not just that. Did you know regular chiropractic care can help with sciatica, vertigo, great for athletes, and all without twisting, cracking, or popping? Connect Chiro Docs use a special tool for all the adjustments, so there's no discomfort. Learn more or book your first appointment now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 4th of July sale is going on now, so celebrate and save with great summer deals throughout the store. Like 24 packs of spring water, 4 for $12, 15% off Mother's Brand vehicle cleaning products, 3M multi-purpose adhesive spray, $7.99, and rewards members get select bags of Blaine's Wild Bird Food, 2 for $12. In a rush? Place your orders online and pick them up in our convenient drive-thru in just 1 hour. In honor of Independence Day, Blaine's Farm and Fleet will be closed on Thursday, July 4th.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My home is my happy place. It's happier thanks to CertaPro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. It was quick. It was easy. You can schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's CertaPro with a C. Estimates are easy. Estimates are accurate. They clean up. CertaPro Painters are the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Downtown Milwaukee is the place to be for summer fun. On Saturday, catch the thrills of the Milwaukee River Challenge as collegiate and club teams take on the Menominee and Milwaukee Rivers. Then, make plans to check out Doors Open September 23rd and 24th as more than 100 venues open their spaces for public exploration. So come on down. Experience downtown in every sense. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. Dom Cotroneo here. 5-3 loss to the Cubs. Rubber game tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks and Freddie Peralta. We've seen that a handful of times. It's amazing how injuries can decimate a team. You know, Kyle Hendricks just hit 10 years of service time, mind you. And some folks were calling for him to be DFA'd earlier in the year, and well, now he's having to start rubber games against a team that he has had plenty of success against in his career, the Milwaukee Brewers. However, Freddie Peralta's had success against the Cubs as well. See if he can try to get back on track. He just threw too many pitches against the Rangers earlier this week and wasn't able to get past the 5th inning, 6th inning, and just need some length out of him. Given you're going to be expecting back-to-backs from Brian Hudson, you'll probably see McGill available tomorrow as well. I imagine they would maybe stay away from Pyops, depending on what the situation calls for. A couple of texts here. This one from Mike in Colorado. Why didn't the double steal work? Not sure if I like that call. Again, like you might have missed it in the first segment here, Mike. It was not a double steal. It was Turang straight stealing, and his mistake was the fact that he stopped. And he needed to run all the way through to second base because Michael Busch was not going to throw that baseball. The situation in that Turang had a great jump. You had a man on third and 2 outs. The situation for the defense says just let him steal second. Just let him do it. Attack the batter. And then maybe I thought they would have walked William Contreras and tried to pitch to the left-on-left with Christian Yelich on deck and never got the chance. The mistake was Turang, generally, if you just keep running and force the first baseman to make the throw and make a tag and chaos can happen there, Monasterio's not going to get the chance to try to run because Bush is going to pump fake and look to third. And he actually did pump fake, and when he pumped, Turang turned around and stopped. He was trying to see what he could do and get around it. So that's what I thought was the mistake when it comes to that. This one from John Chavoygan complaining about Yoel Payamps. It's a rut. He's allowed 3 runs. He's allowed a run in 3 of his last 6 outings. And what Craig Kashan was saying, it's a wave. I agree entirely. He is going to have his role, I imagine, soft landing here and get back on track because the stuff's too good to look as bad as it did today. His stuff is way better than it looked today. I know Yoel Payamps is in a rut right now, but just like William Thomas is in a rut, just like William Contreras is in a rut, it happens. That's why we play 162 games. This one from Aaron in Illinois. Any updates on Abner Uribe? I know he still has the suspension to serve. Well, Abner actually had surgery on his knee for a cleanup. He is not going to be pitching for a few weeks. And furthermore, quite frankly, the Brewers don't need him right now. Not saying they won't need him down the road, but they need to see some improvement for him when he does return to the mound as far as command, as far as controlling his emotions, as far as being prepared for what it takes to be a big leaguer. And we are months away from that happening for Abner Uribe. We will see, I imagine, DL Hall maybe rejoin the Brewers at some point before the All-Star break. Joe Ross threw a flat ground again today. He will rejoin the rotation after the All-Star break. Jacob Junis is here as well. He's available out of the bullpen tomorrow behind Freddie Peralta if need be. The pitching staff is getting healthier. And another note about health, a guy we learned is not going to be back tomorrow. Pat Murphy said today he does not expect Garrett Mitchell to be back with the team tomorrow, which is surprising to me because today's the end of his rehab assignment, 20 days. So are they going to option him and wait for a decision around the team? Are they waiting for an injury? Are they waiting for something else? I do not know. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to option him, given they know they are going to use him this season. I am very surprised that there is going to be no Garrett Mitchell here tomorrow, but maybe that could change. Things change all the time. Also want to thank one of our sponsors, Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Thunderstorms can happen at any time in Wisconsin, and as an authorized Generac dealer, Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical can save you up to $1,500 on a whole home generator. Visit cider.com today, SEIDER.com. Another text coming in here. Didn't get a chance to listen to the whole game, but in the 9th, as usual, why is there never a consistent strike zone? Look, the shadows were weird. You had the glass panels coming in at that point. You have the shadows all over the mound and the plate. We all know what that looks like. It's hard on home plate umpires. It's hard on everybody. I know the first 2 strikes called, the first strike called against Black and the first strike called against Turang were not particularly close. It's not the reason the Brewers lost the game. It's part of the game. It's the human element, and then we have this grappling argument with ourselves. Well, if the challenge system comes, that will make things better, right? But then there'll be another party of baseball that says, well, if you have the computer calling some calls, why not have the computer call all calls, you know? And it's just, this is how we've played baseball forever, and there have always been strike zone disputes in this game. This is not breaking news. Because you can see a superimposed box, and it makes it look like it's 5 inches off the plate when it's really not that far off the plate. I will defend umpires when I can. It wasn't his best day. Again, that is not the reason the Brewers lost the game. It's not. And if you want to believe that, that's okay. But I just don't. It's not the reason the Brewers lost the game. They didn't hit the ball hard once, really, against Justin Steele. They didn't hit a ball over the fence like the Cubs did twice today. They did not play particularly clean on the base pass today. Sal Frelick should have been thrown out. Bryce Turang got thrown out. Those are the reasons the Brewers lost the game, not because of an 0-1 strike call in the 9th inning. It's all going to be okay. Let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. That's coming up next. Brewers fall 5-3 to the Cubs on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-496-2714. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-496-2714. That's 800-496-2714. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall just makes for more fun. Sunday Fun Day coming tomorrow, right? 855-616-1620. If you're still with us, 855-616-1620. This one's a good text from the 262. Will Pat Murphy be manager of the year? Brewers win the division. I don't see why not. He's had less to play with than the Dodgers or the Braves or the Phillies. How ironic would that be, though, too? I mean, after all those years that Craig Counsell didn't win one, runner-up 3 times, that Pat Murphy in his first year as manager wins it. I mean, there's a chance that Pat Murphy and Stephen Vogt both win manager of the year in their respective leagues. There's a chance of it. There really is. Stephen Vogt, a player that was managed by Craig Counsell, played for the Brewers. He's awesome. I love Stephen Vogt. Can't wait to see the Guardians here in the second half. And then Pat Murphy, of course, you know the story there. But here's what the skipper had to say about today's loss and a little bit about Yoel Payamps.
Payamps has been our 8th inning guy a lot, and he was fresh, and it felt like, we kind of collectively decided that anytime we can get Hudson not to labor, and obviously it backfired. He wasn't good. So
as far as Yoel goes, we've talked about him off and on this season, and what do you think is allowed or kept him from getting back on track the way he was last year? I mean, granted, he had a terrific season, but it just seems like he hasn't had the ability to string together 5, 6, 7 really good outings. What do you see as the issue for him?
I mean, you can't walk people. That's whatever it is. You can't walk people, and your stuff you're pitching at that. You're in the major leagues, and you're pitching at that time in the game. Walks are not a possibility. I mean, it's just not part of it. If you look at our pitching staff, a lot of our success, and it's been great this year of not giving up free bases. The home run is the home run. Hap's a good hitter. He's a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter, but the other 2 guys are really good hitters too. And that part of the order, a right-hander can be effective, and Hap struggles change, and Payamps has got one, and I felt pretty good about it, and not to tax Hudson, so we can use Hudson again.
Right.
You can't walk people, so.
What did you find out about Tobias Myers today? An up and down outing. He gutted it out. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I mean, the kid's game. He's game, and he's always gonna be competitive. He's a competitive kid. He's proven that, and he's pitched very well for us. Today was not one of his best days, but they came out ready to go. And his tendency has been a couple of the games to have a rough first one and then settle in. Well, that's not good enough. You've got to recognize that and be convicted from the first pitch. That's all it is. It's a shift. It's not any different training. It's a shift in a mindset. I'm going to attack. I'm going to throw the first punch. And there's a way to do that and not try too hard and overcook it, but that's part of the maturation process. He is a rookie, and he's in his 11th start, I found out, or something like that.
Pretty good month, though, huh?
Yeah, he's been great. This kid's been great. And he battled and gave us 6 innings and kept us in the game. 6 innings, 3 runs, and based on how it started, the first 3 hitters of the game, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Like we talked about earlier with Craig Sean after those first 3 hitters. And he did go on to explain exactly what I explained with the stolen base gaffe, that it was Turang should have ran through and ran all the way to second. That was not a call from the dugout. That was not the double play schoolyard play, or the double steal schoolyard play. That was Turang, straight steal, go all the way through the second. You should be safe because they won't throw to you. Also, sidebar, we saw Murph go out there and argue. I thought that was a balk. I watched it again. That looked like the Wade Miley move, which is like, you know, if your guy does it, oh, it's not a balk. If the other guy does it, it's a balk. So, whatever. But again, I think if Turang keeps running, it's safe, and maybe we're talking about a different result today. 5-3 the final. We do have a couple highlights to play. We'll hear them coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years, and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Drive into summer with a beautiful new car from the International Autos Group. Get spectacular savings of up to $20,000, and 0.9% financing is available for 60 months. Every model in our 2,000 car inventory is priced to sell. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Sheboygan, and Brown Deer. Or at IAAutogroup.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Financing with approved credit, $1,709 per month per $1,000 financed on select models.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Hey, Dylan, have you seen Jeff Sherman? We're supposed to get lunch and check out some of the concerts.
I think he's at Yield. You know, that cosmic corn maze experience.
All right, where am I? Well, come on. How do I get out of here?
Join WTMJ at Summerfest as we broadcast live all 3 weekends from our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. It's Summerfest 2024, and we're there live all fest long on WTMJ.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. N76, visit staples.com/print for details.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Couple of highlights, some wacky moments from this one. Brewers fall 5-3. We talk about some of the base running blunders and talk about some of the Cubs' miscues in this one. One of them came in the third inning with the Brewers down 2-0. Sal Frelick's on second base with one out, and chaos ensues.
2-2 pitch. And Chopper right back to Steele. Steele has Frelick in a rundown, trying to run him back to second. Now flips to Horner, running Frelick back to third. Frelick is going to be safe at third. He outran him back to the bag. Monasterio goes to second on the play, and it all comes up Brewers.
I mean, Steele played that perfectly. He saw the runner trying to get to third. He ran at him, made him commit to his side, flip it to Horner, and get out of the way, and they couldn't get it out. And then you had the squeeze bunt, you had a bloop single, and that led to him getting super angry. How about the squeeze from Terang?
Third, Monasterio at second. Steele looking in, first pitch. And Terang bunts it right back in front of home plate. Everybody's going to be safe. Steele coming to field it. Didn't have a play at home. Frelick slid in there safely. And then Steele trying to pick up the baseball and throw to first. Didn't pick it cleanly.
It was ruled an infield single on the bunt for Bryce Terang, the first run of the game with the soft knock. How about an even softer one for William Contreras?
Hits one in the air, shallow center. Everybody racing out and racing in, and it's going to fall between Pete Crow Armstrong and the shortstop Swanson. Racing home is Monasterio. Terang heads back to second. The Brewers have tied it at 2 on a bloop single into shallow center.
You know, I think Monasterio would have tagged even if Crow Armstrong made the catch. I think he would have tried to make something happen there with the Brewers down by a run. So again, they tied it. However, the Cubs got a run in the top half of the fourth, an RBI single the other way by PCA with 2 strikes and 2 outs. The Brewers used their speed to tie things up in the bottom of the fourth.
2-2 pitch. Frelick, a ground ball to short, could be 2. Swanson flips to Horner for one, on to first. Not in time. Frelick beat it out. Churio scores from third. We're tied at 3. It's an RBI fielder's choice for Sal Frelick.
He hit 30 feet per second on that sprint, which is classified as a bolt, meaning you're cooking. And the Brewers have the fastest average sprint speed in all of baseball. And Sal Frelick really cooking it up the line. So that tied the game, but the Brewers couldn't add on anymore after a double play. And then the other highlight from this one was Tobias Myers in the 5th inning. Got himself into some danger. A couple of singles, then a 2-out hit by pitch to Ian Happ. Bases loaded. 2 outs. A quick visit from Chris Hook. Not a single pitch in this sequence to Christopher Morel was in the strike zone. And the last one especially was.
So you went up and in. Do you go down and away again with one of those cutters? Or do you go right back to that same spot? 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. They doubled up on the heater. Morel is gone, and the Cubs leave the bases loaded.
I thought that was the moment that the Brewers had all the momentum in the world, that they were going to create something out of this game. But Justin Steele, man, he retired the last 7 batters he faced, handed it over to the bullpen, and although it was stressful with Neris in the 9th inning, they got it done. The Cubs get the victory today, gave the Brewers a taste of their own medicine with a little late dramatics and solid bullpen work. Let's preview tomorrow, get you ready with the schedule, and then prepare to head out west to take on the Rockies and the Dodgers. Back with more after this, our final segment on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, joined by Nicole, who along with her husband Brent owns the company. Nicole, why is now a good time to have you out looking at my air conditioner?
Because we want you to get to know us before you have an HVAC or electrical emergency. We will provide maintenance to your AC system so it's ready to operate efficiently on those warm spring days and hot summer nights.
And they are coming. Absolute Comfort, HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
The Brewers Sunday Funday Bundle is your new way to brunch this summer. Get tickets, food, beverages, and parking for up to 15 people, starting at $62. Get yours at brewers.com/funday.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Drive into summer with a beautiful new car from the International Autos Group. Get spectacular savings of up to $20,000, and 0.9% financing is available for 60 months. Every model in our 2,000 car inventory is priced to sell. The International Autos Group, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Sheboygan, and Brown Deer. Or at IAAutogroup.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Financing with approved credit, $1,709 per month per $1,000 financed on select models.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Final segment here, Brewers Extra Innings. Back at it tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks, Freddie Peralta. We have seen this film before. 1:10 first pitch. We'll be on the air at noon with Brewers warm-up. Yours truly. Then I've got you after the game as well with Brewers Extra Innings. Looking ahead as the Brewers prepare for a 4-game 4th of July set against the Rockies. It's always tough to play in Denver, no matter how bad the Rockies are. You never know. The Brewers got swept there last year. It'll be Bryce Wilson, Dallas Keuchel, Colin Ray, Tobias Myers, if they go in order this week, unless you see a spot start in there from a Jacob Dunas or maybe a DL Hall, who pitched very well today down in AAA Nashville, hitting 95 multiple times in AAA. So then that would mean against the Dodgers over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Brewers would get Freddie Peralta, Bryce Wilson, Dallas Keuchel for those 3 games, unless, again, something changes. You move a guy back, you move a guy up, and then the Brewers' next off day will be the following Monday before starting a series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So they are in the midst of playing another 10 in a row right now. Then they'll play 6 in a row to close out the first half. And tomorrow, we'll see Kyle Hendricks. We'll see Freddie Peralta. We'll see a lot of Cub fans. We'll see a lot of Brewer fans. And it should be a rocking environment for the last regular season game of the year, with the Cubs being here at American Family Field. Another thing to keep in mind, I mean, the Cubs are still in striking distance for the wild card. They are currently 4 games out of the last wild card spot, which is currently held by St. Louis. The Brewers still in first place in the division. They're at 49-34. The Cardinals lost today, by the way, to the Reds. So not all is lost. Lost today, looking for a series victory tomorrow against those Cubbies. My thanks to Craig Kishon for joining us once again, and for our producer, Evan Wittallison. It's a loss today, 5-3, but back at it tomorrow on what should be a beautiful day for baseball. I'm Tom Catronio. Keep on swinging.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a